Welcome to this week's Fireside Chat, where on behalf of Kincardine United Church, I reflect on current events from a faith perspective and mix in some humor and videos and a blessing. Thanks to the able and experienced skill of Mary and John Phillips, the technology flows smoothly as they record it all. Once recorded, Terry Boyd or David Skinner upload the recording to our YouTube channel where you found us. Thank you, Terry, David, John, and Mary. As a bit of a change from other fireside chats I have done, I'm going to liberally mix humor throughout this one. Why? Because I want to talk about getting older, and many of us struggle with the reality of aging. So if we can't poke a lot of fun at our own discomfort, something that all of us are or will experience, we know we're taking ourselves too seriously. For example, we can wonder about the fixation with cell phones, even though many of us are now using them liberally. Most people use their phones to document their lives. I'm at the age where I use my phone to take pictures of the labels I can't read and use my phone to enlarge the print so I can read them. What's worse is I can never remember my passwords. Constant changes in technology elicit longings for what we do know. Remember when growing older couldn't happen soon enough? In addition, our bodies are telling us loudly to slow down. Slowing down, however, doesn't mean that we're useless. Even though it can still feel like this. There are benefits to aging, though. Oh, I must admit, having a beautiful Hollywood icon like Drew Barrymore, who is only 48 years old, seems a bit ironic. Nevertheless, the statement is true even when we perceive ourselves like this. Indeed, our self perception could also feel like this. When I was a kid, I wanted to be older. This is not what I expected. Changes sometimes overwhelm us as we age. Some of us, at the end of an enjoyable night out, would have one for the road. However, as we age into being seniors, one for the road means peeing before you leave the house. I'm not retired yet, but when I do, this would be could be my dream. When reality hits hard, nostalgia beckons. Nostalgia for the good old days can be a trap, however, which can blind us to the wonderful new challenges and delights of life as it evolves. Perhaps we shelter in the comforting cloud of memory because we worry. No matter how wise we become, we still want to be useful instead of pitied. For example, one way to find out if you are old is to fall down in front of a lot of people. If they laugh, you're still young. If they panic and start running to you, you're old. And so we dance between memory and current reality. Despite feelings of despair flowing through us, Aging isn't about lost youth. It's about finding who your true friends really are. The difference between shiny and worthy is the confidence to be yourself in any circumstance. Is the time to dedicate to the things that bring you joy, the wisdom to say no to the things you don't find enthusing you, the freedom to choose your own path in life, the courage to be content in your own skin, and the knowledge that most of what worries us matters little in the end. It doesn't matter how old you are or where you come from, manners, kindness, respect, and compassion will always be traits of a decent person. In fact, I would claim that Jesus, even though he never had the privilege of getting old, modeled such qualities. I want to share with you a video about a retired man who turned the foibles of aging into a benefit for others. We can always make a difference.
Terry started coming here. We noticed him because he brought his own brush, and he would sit next to the cats on the couch and just brush for hours, and he'd fall asleep, and that just became what he did every day. He slept with the cats on accident.
Well, I was very surprised by the notoriety that happened. People from all over the world have been emailing me and sending me articles about me and so forth. So it's quite a surprise, to say the least.
It was crazy for a while. Everyone was coming in to see Terry, but it also created a lot of traffic adoptions and donations because we are a nonprofit organization, so it really helped us out a lot.
Like Cat Grandpa Terry, baby boomers like me are the biggest driver of aging in our population and will continue to be for some time. This is according to the University of Waterloo Health Sciences professor and demographer Martin Cook. He worries that not enough people are thinking about that reality despite our overstressed healthcare system where emergency rooms are closed, where there are long wait times for surgery and other procedures, and where there is a shortage of physicians and nurses, while the province seems to be embracing ever more private medicine. In our own lives, we often feel overwhelmed by the changes we have experienced in our lives. Men used to have long hair, and now we're longing for hair. We once used 8-track tapes, and now we have cataracts. Our keg parties are now replaced by EKG appointments. Streaking has turned into leaking worries. Acid rock headbanging has transformed to acid reflux burning. Hippie diets of seeds and stems have become dietary consumption of more fiber. We used to dance staying alive, and now we just want to keep staying alive. Once our dream was to purchase a BMW, but now we just want a BM. As youth, we loved going to new hip joints to party. Now we are scheduled to get a new hip joint. Once we rocked out to the Rolling Stones, well, now we worry about kidney stones. We used to wear bell bottoms, and now we have big bottoms. Disco parties have turned to Costco trips. We used to say whatever, but now it's all about depends. We once loved rock and roll all night long, but our goal is to sleep through the night without having to pee. Finally, we used to think we knew everything, while now we think we know our own name. Change happens, but as we age, most of us get heavier. Looking back at life, do we have any regrets? We are often considered to be wise elders, but our self-perception is more like this. Perhaps we worry too much. Here's a poem by lauded poet Mary Oliver, written in 2010, that addresses our worrying. I worried a lot. Will the garden grow? Will the rivers flow in the right direction? Will the earth turn as it was taught? And if not, how shall I correct it? Was I right? Was I wrong? Will I be forgiven? Can I do better? Will I ever be able to sing? Even the sparrows can do it, and I am hopeless. Is my eyesight fading, or am I just imagining it? Am I going to get rheumatism, lockjaw, dementia? Finally, I saw that worrying had come to nothing, and I gave it up and took my old body and went out to the morning and sang. Why can't we sing despite our worries about the changes we are experiencing? Here are some insights I wish to offer from current demographic studies. Seniors today are like nothing of seniors of the past. When people get to long-term care facilities, they are much older on the average, around 88 years of age. Their families are smaller, so social supports are diminished. However, elderly people are not a drain on the healthcare system. They are the reason it exists. Indeed, healthcare professionals shouldn't be taken for granted, nor should the expensive technology need to be discounted. If we are worried, then we need to sing out something like, "We shall overcome." More potently, or pardon me, yeah, more potently, we must make our needs known and provide forums within which to advocate for healthcare system that works. Like ensuring home care and long-term care operate in tandem while be funded accordingly. This isn't just my opinion, but the hard-fought wisdom of my former wife, Nancy, who served as director of nursing and as administrator for a variety of long-term care facilities over 47 years of nursing. We need to consider it our job as seniors to advocate for better. Don't be afraid to start over again. This time you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. After all, in my life, I've lived, I've loved, I've lost, I've missed, I've hurt, I've trusted, I've made mistakes, but most of all, I have learned. In fact, the older I get, the more I realize it is okay to live a life that others do not understand. From a Christian perspective, I want this to be true. And if, when it is all over, I am asked what I did with my life, I want to be able to say, I offered love. In advocating for a better, more responsive, and better planned healthcare system, we live our love for ourselves and for our neighbors. Yet in the back of our mind, death hovers to remind us of our mortality. Here is an insightful cartoon from Calvin and Hobbes. Perhaps our willingness to wrestle with our own mortality, perhaps our fears of what might be when we die, causes us to focus on things we can better control, like an endless cycle of worry. Death happens to us all, regardless of our worries, yet, like Calvin and Hobbes, we are not alone to wrestle with it. We have our friends, our families, and our community of faith. Through each moment, God is with us, guiding us, embracing us, crying with us, and singing with us. In fact, maybe God has a subtle plan for our getting older. Consider this humorous take. Most seniors never get enough exercise. So God decreed that seniors became forgetful so that they would have to search for their glasses, their keys, and other things, thus doing more walking. And God looked down and saw that it was good. Then God saw there was another need. God made seniors lose coordination so they would drop things, requiring them to bend, reach, and stretch. And God looked down and saw that it was good. Then God considered the function of bladders and decided seniors would have additional calls of nature requiring more trips to the bathroom, thus providing more exercise. God looked down and saw that it was good. So if you find as you age, you're getting up and down more, remember it's God's will and it is all in your best interest, even though you may mutter under your breath. Here's an upbeat video, a music video rather, that proclaims joyfully the assurance that we are not alone, for God is all around us. Consider this as a hope-filled prayer of anticipation of what life will yet reveal.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, in the end. Wish your tears were in my eyes. I wish your heart was on my side. I wish our fears were in long sights, but they're all around you. I wish our guesses were closer. Wish our weapons were holstered. I've lived like heaven's a poster, but it's all around you. So only say, hey! Hallelujah, I'll get to ya. Just give us time, you'll be by my side. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah, sing hallelujah, hallelujah. I'll get to you. Just give us time. You'll be by my side in the end. La-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. This song is out now everywhere you listen to music, and it would mean the world to me if you take the time to go find it on Spotify, Apple Music, save it, and share it with one person who you think might enjoy it. As an independent artist, it means the world to me. Thanks for your time. Can't wait to play for you again soon.
Get up.
That enthusiastic assurance doesn't always hit home. So consider this from theologian and Church of England priest John Stott, who wrote this at 88 years of age in his book, The Radical Disciple, Some Neglected Aspects of Our Calling. He writes, I sometimes hear old people, including Christian people, who should know better, say, I don't want to be a burden to anyone else. I'm happy to carry on living so long as I can look after myself, but as soon as I become a burden, I would rather die. But this is wrong. We are designed to be a burden for others. You are designed to be a burden to me, and I am designed to be a burden to you. And the life of family, including the life of the local church family, should be one of mutual burdensomeness. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ, which comes from Galatians chapter 6, verse 2. The next Fireside Chat will be recorded on October 17th. So I look forward to being with you then. After all, you'll only be 2 weeks older. Keep your sense of humor as you age, and I will try to do the same. Goodbye.